Movies have the power to inspire us, make us laugh, or take us on amazing adventures. But sometimes, they do the opposite. Some movies leave us feeling bored, confused, or just plain frustrated. Here are the 10 worst movies of the last 10 years.
For 50 cents, I'll suck your
Well, it's a great price. It almost makes me wish I had a dick for you to suck.
Oh, I'll take that as a yes.
The Happytime Murders tried to mix an adult comedy with a detective story using puppets, but it just didn't work. The idea of puppets living in a crime-filled world was unique, but instead of being smart and creative, the movie relied too much on crude humor. Jokes about violence and inappropriate content might have worked if they were clever, but most of them felt lazy and repetitive. Melissa McCarthy, a talented comedian, did her best with what she was given, but even she couldn't save the film from its weak script and uneven tone. Critics and audiences alike were disappointed, and the movie bombed at the box office. It serves as a reminder that shock value isn't enough to make a comedy work.
This story, it's about me, my brother, my mom, and the girl who lived next door.
Henry and Peter, they're lucky to have you.
And your father's lucky to have you too.
Stepfather.
Directed by Colin Trevorrow, The Book of Henry had a major problem with its tone. It started as a touching drama about a brilliant young boy, but then it suddenly turned into a strange thriller where his mother follows his plans to commit murder. The shift was so extreme that it felt unnatural, almost like two different movies were mashed together. Naomi Watts and Jacob Tremblay gave strong performances, but they couldn't save a story that just didn't make sense. Instead of being deep or exciting, the movie left audiences scratching their heads. Some parts were emotional, but the plot twists were too bizarre to take seriously. It's a film that tried to be original, but ended up feeling like a confusing mess.
That's not what I want, Dad. You never let me do what I want to do. You never let me just do me.
Hold up, wrong floor. What in the Matrix hell?
The original Space Jam is a nostalgic favorite for many, but the 2021 sequel failed to capture the same magic. Instead of focusing on telling a good story, Space Jam: A New Legacy felt more like an advertisement for Warner Brothers properties. While LeBron James is an incredible athlete, his acting wasn't strong enough to carry the film. The movie was filled with random cameos from other Warner Brothers characters, but instead of being fun, they felt forced. The overuse of CGI made everything look artificial, and the humor didn't land. Many fans hoped for a fun, exciting sequel, but what they got felt more like a commercial than a real movie.
We're not going to Daytona.
Are you kidding me right now? Grandma's funeral was yesterday.
She told me on her deathbed, you get back out there again.
Hey, Grandpa.
What the
Want to be a lamb and get that for me?
Dirty Grandpa was supposed to be a wild, hilarious comedy starring Robert De Niro and Zac Efron, but instead, it just felt cheap. The jokes were mostly based on shock value rather than clever writing. De Niro, one of the greatest actors of all time, seemed completely out of place in a movie that wasted his talent. Instead of being a fun, outrageous comedy, the movie relied on humor that wasn't funny or memorable. Many critics called it one of the worst films of the year, and even audiences who enjoy raunchy comedies found it disappointing.
Hey there, I'm Marmaduke. You might be wondering why I'm on lockdown. It's because my stepbro Carlos and I are being shipped air freight.
Hey, let me out of here. I'm not an animal.
We're moving to the OC. Oh man, is life gonna change. New house, new smells, and the nicest bathroom I've ever had. Speaking of which, little privacy, please.
Based on the classic comic strip, Marmaduke was an animated movie that nobody really asked for. The animation looked low quality, even when compared to other direct-to-streaming movies. Despite having Owen Wilson as a voice actor, the characters were uninteresting, and the jokes were flat. The story wasn't engaging for kids or adults, making the movie a failure for all audiences. Instead of delivering a fun adventure, Marmaduke ended up being one of the worst-reviewed animated movies in years.
So I spent my life racing against time.
I'm gonna help you out today, okay?
Trying to save people who were running out of it.
Jesse!
Until one moment changed everything.
Sony has tried to make Spider-Man-related movies without Spider-Man, but Madame Web showed how difficult that is. Even with Dakota Johnson as the lead, the movie struggled with a weak script and underdeveloped characters. The action sequences weren't exciting, and the film couldn't decide if it wanted to be a superhero movie or a psychological thriller. The result? A film that didn't succeed at being either. The story was confusing, the dialogue felt awkward, and it left audiences disappointed. Even superhero fans couldn't find much to enjoy.
Please tell me you weren't laughing just now. What if you get sent out on the phone, making the wrong face?
Dad, I'll make the right face. Then I would finally fit in.
Sweetie, you're so handsome when you make that face.
We are go for men.
Who, me?
What's he doing?
He's making the wrong face.
When the Emoji Movie was announced, many people saw it as nothing more than a way to make money off of phone culture. The story about an emoji struggling with its identity could have been creative, but instead, the movie just felt like a long advertisement for different apps. The plot was predictable, and the characters weren't interesting. While animated movies often tell heartwarming or unique stories, the Emoji Movie didn't, and it became one of the most disliked animated films in years.
This isn't about the father. This is about the son, Artemis Fowl. You've grown strong, son. There's just one very important thing I have to do.
Authorities launched a worldwide manhunt for the famous collector. The biggest robberies ever.
Fans of the Artemis Fowl book series were excited for a movie, but Disney's version let almost everyone down. The film tried to cram too much of the book's story into a short time, making it hard to follow. The characters weren't developed well, and the special effects were inconsistent. Disney also changed Artemis from a complex anti-hero into a typical good guy, taking away what made the book special. Instead of launching a new movie franchise, Artemis Fowl quickly faded into obscurity.
Focus. What is happening?
This was the day Billy was taken.
When Winnie-the-Pooh entered the public domain, no one expected a horror movie based on the beloved character, but Winnie-the-Pooh, Blood and Honey turned childhood favorites into low-budget horror villains. The problem? It wasn't scary or creative. The acting was weak, the story was bad, and the camera work looked cheap. Instead of being an interesting twist on a classic, it just felt lazy and pointless. Horror fans and Winnie-the-Pooh fans alike were left disappointed. Before revealing the movie that took first place, let's go through some honorable mentions. First up is Kraven the Hunter from Marvel, which flopped and failed to impress audiences. Then there's Thunder Force, yet another Melissa McCarthy movie that I couldn't even finish watching. And who could forget Cats, with its bizarrely animated faces and the editing mistake of leaving in cats wearing sneakers. Lastly, I have to mention the most recent Venom movie, because that love montage at the end made me cringe.
And I think to myself,
Are you Dr. Dolittle?
We've no choice but to embark on this perilous journey.
Everyone pack your bags!
You can talk to animals.
Yes. Hello, Patty. Hello, lunch.
Dolittle had all the ingredients to be a fun family movie, but instead, it was a disaster. The story was confusing, the jokes weren't funny, and the CGI animals felt overused. Robert Downey Jr. chose a strange accent that confused audiences.
It's okay to be scared.
And the tone of the movie kept changing. One of the weirdest moments was when Dolittle had to help a dragon with stomach problems. It was supposed to be funny, but most people found it awkward. Even though it had a talented cast, Dolittle became one of the biggest disappointments of 2020. These 10 movies remind us that big budgets and famous actors don't always mean success. Whether it was bad writing, poor directing, or just bad choices, these films show what can go wrong in Hollywood. Hopefully, future movies will learn from these mistakes. But I doubt it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, pick your movies wisely.